Today I'm going to be talking about tobacco. We're going to go over the different types such as cigarettes, hookahs, chewing tobacco, and just different types like that. We're going to be talking about the harmful effects and the way that they affect your body and certain diseases that you can get with them. So we're going to start out with a little video. And this video is just going to show, just the overall general view of tobacco.
Tobacco companies show images of what life would be like if you smoke.
They tell you tough, hard-working people smoke their cigarettes.
That's really cool! Hip!
Yes. That smoking makes you independent, beautiful, and mysterious.
But the reality is that you can end up looking like this.
So that was just a clip with a bunch of misconceptions about tobacco smoke and what the media perceives
But I will be
like when
fair,
you smoke it.
and I will tell you the truth. My product is poison. It is highly addictive, very addictive. You will think it's your choice to poison yourself every day. You will become my slave. You're going to pay me every day. You will become a drug addict. I will become your dealer. And it all starts with your very first one.
So that's just showing how tobacco is an addiction, and it's really hard to quit once you stop.
When I was only 6 years old, my mom started smoking. I really didn't like it. When I was 12, I began inhaling.
When I was 23, my mom passed away of lung cancer. Around the same time, I began smoking. It's just how my choices only affect me.
So this video is basically showing that people who smoke are not only affecting themselves, they're also affecting the people around them, because secondhand smoke is just as bad, if not worse. And this video is just showing the impact of like how much tobacco companies make and how detrimental, like lots of people die from these diseases caused by tobacco smoke. So it said tobacco kills 1,200 people a day. Okay, so this next slide is just a bit of history about tobacco. So tobacco use is the leading preventable cause of disease, disability, and death in the United States. According to the World Health Organization, tobacco kills nearly half of its users. Tobacco kills approximately 6 million people per year, with more than 5 million of those deaths were as a result of direct tobacco use, while more than 600,000 result in non-smokers. So this could be secondhand smoke or just being around people who do smoke, and it's just not good for you. And for non-smokers, and having an exposure of secondhand smoke by people around them, like I just said. And in the United States, there are over 480,000 deaths in a result of just tobacco use alone. So this also includes cigarette smoke, pipe tobacco, cigars, herbal cigarettes, chewing tobacco, and snuff. And this next video is just an overall of cigarettes. It shows the severity of cigarettes.
That menthol.
It's not enough.
What's a pack of menthols cost? Your teeth. Smoking menthols or regular cigarettes can cause serious gum disease that makes you more likely to lose them.
Say again.
What are menthols costing you?
So that video was just to show that just smoking, it may help you get a buzz, but it is detrimental to your teeth, your throat, your lungs, and can cause a variety of number of cancers. This picture is just showing the different types of tobacco. It shows you the tobacco leaf, and you can make cigarettes, e-cigarettes, pipes. You can use hookahs to smoke it, cigars, dry snuff, moist snuff. It's just a bunch of different tobacco products. Most people, when they think of tobacco, they just think strictly cigarettes, and they think, oh, cigarettes are the worst one. It's okay if I have the other ones, but in reality, all of them are just equally as bad. So cigarette smoke is the leading cause of preventable disease in the United States. According to the American Lung Association, there are approximately 600 ingredients in cigarettes, and when cigarettes burn, approximately 7,000 chemicals are given off, and 69 of those chemicals are known to be poisonous and to cause cancer. When the nicotine is inhaled or smoked, it's entered the bloodstream and immediately stimulates your adrenal glands to release hormones and different chemicals. These hormones that it releases is your epinephrine, also known as adrenaline. And epinephrine stimulates your central nervous system and increases your blood pressure, respiration, and heart rate. Many studies say that nicotine is similar to heroin and cocaine because it's addictive chemicals used, and their addictive chemicals make you crave it, so that's why when people start quitting, it's harder for them to quit. It also increases your reward system for pleasure, so that's another contributing factor to the addiction qualities of it. And for many tobacco users, long-term brain changes are becoming relevant, and this could help with contribute to early Alzheimer's or dementia in people. And cigarette smoking accounts for 1/3 of all cancers in the United States, according to the American Lung Association. So secondhand smoke causes 41,000 deaths each year. It contains over 7,000 chemicals, and cigarette smokers are in correlation of 90% of lung cancer patients and deaths. Smoking also harms every single organ in your body, so it is very, very harmful. It doesn't just harm your lungs. So cigarettes and health effects. So if smoking a long time, you can get cataracts, which can make you go blind. It increases your rate of getting type 2 diabetes. It also increases your age of macular degeneration, which is the leading cause of blindness in 65-year-old adults. It increases your risk of complications with your type 2 diabetes and decreased blood flow to your lower limbs. And so smoking it also affects narrowing your blood vessels. And for women, it increases your risk of ectopic pregnancy, and this is a pregnancy that whenever the egg is fertilized, it is fertilized outside of the uterus, and it can cause many complications to the baby and the mother. And it also can increase the baby's risk of having a cleft lip, where the lip right here is attached to your nose. And it also increases your risk of cancer and rheumatoid arthritis, which rheumatoid arthritis is when your body's attacking its own joints.
Okay, my name is Destiny Barrett, and I'm basically just going to read off this slide. This slide right here is about cigarette smoking disease. Tobacco is very detrimental to your lungs. Lung diseases caused by smoking include COPD, which includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis. However, cigarette smoking in particular causes most cases of lung cancer. If a tobacco user have asthma, tobacco smoke can trigger an attack or make an attack worse. Smokers are at a greater risk for diseases that affect the heart and blood vessels, which is known as cardiovascular disease. Smoking can cause heart blockages that can decrease the blood flow in your legs and skin. Smoking can also cause strokes resulting from blood clots that blocks the blood flow to part of your brain, or when a blood vessel in or around your brain bursts. So this slide here is just like basically just saying all of the things that it can cause to your body. Is very detrimental. It can cause many diseases, and I know many people who have died from this, just from cancer and other sort of diseases that results from tobacco. So on this slide, these are basically all of the ingredients found in cigarette smokes, like ammonia and all that. Tar is all that, and this nicotine is all that is found in the ingredients of cigarettes, and is very detrimental. So tobacco smoke is made up of more than 7,000 chemicals in total, including over 70 known just to cause cancer. Nicotine is one of the main addictive and most harsh chemicals found in tobacco smoke. Nicotine is a chemical that gives its user the feeling that they are looking for and keeps them using it. Other chemicals found in tobacco are claudine, benzene, menthol, and other things like ammonia. So, it's just so many detrimental ingredients in cigarette smoking alone. So on this slide, it's just basically elaborating on the cost of cigarettes in different areas of the world or the United States alone. Like in Texas, where we currently are, it's a total of $6.69, which is about $7 just for a pack of cigarettes. And then if you look at other states like Wisconsin, is $8.82, which is almost $9, and then you have Vermont, which is almost $10 at $9.60. So it's just very pricey at different areas, and you're spending so much money. The average person probably smokes about 4 to 5 cigarettes a day, and you can run through a pack in literally 3-4 days. So if you're spending $10, $20, $30 a week on cigarettes, and it's only hurting and hindering your health, then it's not even worth it. It's increasing your risk of cancer and cardiovascular disease and heart disease, and it's just not healthy. And then for the price you pay, it's definitely not worth it. And on this slide, we're talking about smoking and cancer. So smoking can spread cancer throughout the body from organ to organ, such as bladder, blood, cervix, colon and rectum, esophagus, kidney and uter, larynx, liver, the throat, tongue, soft palate, and tonsils, pancreas, stomach, trachea, and bronchus. So that is a huge variety. That's a huge number right there, just telling you, of all of the places that you can get cancer just from smoking on your body. There's so many main organs that you can hurt that you need in order to survive. And according to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, smoking also increases the risk of dying from cancer and other diseases in cancer patients and survivors. If nobody smoked, 1 of every 3 cancer deaths in the United States would not happen. So if you completely stop smoking, deaths from cancer would decrease at least 33%, and that is a huge number. By less people smoking, it cuts cardiovascular risk. So by less people smoking, it cuts cardiovascular risk tremendously. Just 1 year after quitting smoking, your risk for a heart attack drops sharply. Within 2 to 5 years after quitting smoking, your risk for stroke could fall to about the same as a non-smoker. If you quit smoking, your risk for cancers out the mouth, throat, esophagus, and bladder drop by half within 5 years. 10 years after you quit smoking, your risk for lung cancer drops by half as well.
I'm Nick Jones, and I'm talking about chewing tobacco. Here you see some pictures of what chewing tobacco can do to your face and your mouth and gums. And next, the types of chewing tobacco. We have loose leaf, moist snuff, dry snuff. There's things called snus packets. There's so many different kinds of chewing tobacco. Some ingredients in the chewing tobacco is formaldehyde, nicotine, hydrogenine, acetaldehyde, cadmium, uranium, ethyl alcohol, natural and artificial flavors, water. The dangers of chewing tobacco: it's mouth cancer, tongue cancer, cheek cancer, gum cancer, esophagus cancer, pancreatic cancer. Some facts about chewing tobacco. Smokeless tobacco users have an 80% chance higher risk of oral cancer and a 60% higher risk of pancreatic and esophageal cancer. Smokeless tobacco products can increase the risk of fatal heart attack and stroke. Using smokeless tobacco can lead to nicotine addiction and dependence. For example, the amount of nicotine absorbed in one dip of moist snuff tobacco is three or four times the amount of one cigarette. In 2010, the study found that smokeless tobacco caused more than 200,000 deaths from heart disease compared to the 62,000 deaths due to cancer by mouth and the esophagus. More smokeless tobacco users are dying from heart disease rather than cancer. Here's some of the effects that chewing tobacco could do to your mouth.
Smokeless tobacco is not safe because, just like cigarettes, it contains addictive nicotine and dangerous chemicals. In addition, smokeless tobacco is processed with sugar, just about as much as candy. Not only does that little pinch between your cheek and gums give you unsightly stains and bad breath, it's a hot spot for tooth decay, which can lead to fillings, root canal therapy, and crowns. It also causes receding gums and tooth abrasion, both of which can lead to sensitive teeth. And it contributes to periodontal disease, which can lead to continued infection and loss of teeth and jawbone. Using chewing tobacco can also lead to mouth sores, and some of these sores become cancerous. This is serious because oral cancer can kill. Smokeless tobacco can also lead to many other painful and debilitating diseases, such as stomach ulcers, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, clogged arteries, and stroke. Our advice? To protect your oral and overall health, don't use smokeless tobacco. If you've already started, quit now.
Hi, I'm Haley and I'm going to be talking about e-cigs. What are e-cigs? So, e-cigs are electronic cigarettes and they are a new class of electronic nicotine delivery systems which were first developed in China. This product is not FDA approved and has a power source that activates the liquid, which is triggered by the user. In response to the user activating the heating element, the liquid is turned into vapor and then inhaled into the lungs where the nicotine is absorbed. E-cigs liquids come in many different flavors to encourage users to continue to use this product. So right here are some different examples of what the liquid can look like and examples of what an e-cig can look like. Alright, so what causes people to start using e-cigs? Many people are enticed to try e-cigs for the first time because they are believed to be a smoking cessation tool. Based on the study by Drummond and Upson, there are no data supporting e-cigs as a more effective tool than available FDA-approved nicotine replacement therapies for smoking cessation. Another reason people can pick up the habit of using e-cigs, according to Drummond and Upson, the use of e-cigs among U.S. middle school and high school students more than doubled from 2011 to 2012. They also addressed that more than 1.78 million middle school and high school students have tried e-cigs as of 2012. There is concern that electronic cigarettes may serve as a gateway to conventional cigarettes. Since grade school has such a stress on popularity and wanting to fit in, there is a constant need to do the cool things. Also, as kids grow up and they're exposed to more opinions from other students, they begin to form their own opinions that can be slightly different from what their parents expect from them or what they have taught them. This sense of forming their own opinion can also cause curiosity and lead them to try new things such as e-cigs. What are some of the dangers of e-cigs? Obviously, there are multiple dangers that come with using this device that a lot of people are using nowadays. There have been multiple reports that state that e-cigs have blown up in pockets and purses and even sometimes in the user's hands. These incidents don't happen often, thankfully. However, it is at risk. However, you do put yourself at risk by using this product since it runs on batteries. And these incidences can cause severe burns and fractures in your hands and different bones wherever the blow or the explosion can happen. Another obvious danger is that putting nicotine in your body can lead to many different health issues. According to Glantz in the study done by Rayloff, e-cigs deliver high levels of nanoparticles which can trigger inflammation and have been linked to asthma, stroke, and heart disease, and sometimes even diabetes. Nicotine affects your brain, nervous system, and heart, and it can also raise your blood pressure and heart rate. After it wears off and your body begins to crave it, and this is how the addiction begins. You may feel depressed, tired, or crabby, which will lead to the user using this product again. There are many different types of e-cigs. There's a two-piece Cigalite, which similarly resembles a normal cigarette. The Eco style is a little larger and are comprised of three pieces: the battery, the tank, and the atomizer. Another type is the e-cigs mods, or the modded type, which resembles a box shape and all the parts are actually combined into one. The preference for whichever model is used most is basically just based on what the user likes and what they prefer. Some facts and assumptions about e-cigs. Many people are led to believe that e-cigs are harmless and that they are used in order to quit smoking. There are less chemicals exposed to the body in comparison to regular cigarettes. However, they still expose your body to a lot of unhealthy chemicals, which can lead to different health problems. Secondhand aerosol smoke can also be dangerous to others as it contains chemicals that are cancer-causing. Many youth nowadays are more likely to try e-cigs over other tobacco products on the market, and this can be linked to the attractiveness of the flavored liquids. Last but not least, most people the most used assumption about e-cigs is that they're used as smoking cessation tools. However, this has not been proven by the FDA, and e-cigs are also not yet regulated by the FDA. Different ingredients in the liquids of the e-cigs. Like I was saying, the FDA does not regulate these products, so we are very unaware of what exactly is in all the different types of liquids that are used in e-cigs. The most common one, or the most common ingredients among all of the different types of liquids, is nicotine, the flavoring that is used to flavor, obviously, the liquid, propylene glycol, and glycerin. And those are mainly just the only ones that we know of right now that are consistent in most of the different types. How can we avoid e-cigs? It is very important that we start to educate today's youth on e-cigs, about the dangers associated with them and the harm that they can cause. We also need to let them know that they are not safe, just as cigarettes and other tobacco products are not safe. We need to work on eliminating the assumption that e-cigs are not harmful, because they are.
My name is Marissa, and I'm going to be talking about hookahs. On this first slide, it is basically just kind of how a hookah looks. On this top part, under the charcoal, you'll put tobacco, and then the charcoal will heat the tobacco and go through the stem part, and the hot steam will rise from the water and go through the hose and into your mouth. Yes, and then hookah has quite a few different names. It can go by shisha, Nurjali, Aringle, and Goza. They are water pipes used to smoke flavored tobaccos. They're not a safe alternative for smoking cigarettes. A lot of people think that they are because the smoke is smoother when it goes down, but it's just because the smoke is at a cooler temperature than from a cigarette. The use of hookah started in ancient Persia and India, and because of the way it's smoked, the smoker might get more of the toxic substances found in cigarette smoke. And during a typical session, smokers inhale about 90,000 milliliters of smoke, and teens of well-educated families are more likely to use hookah, mainly because it is kind of an expensive practice. Hookahs come in a lot of different shapes and sizes. They can be really large or really small. They can be made out of different metals and different like glass products and stuff like that. The basic types are the traditional hookahs with the bowls, and then they come up with the hoses. They also come in hookah pens that are like super similar to e-cigs and vapes. The smoke itself and like the tobacco can be different flavors, and it's usually more wet than dry compared to cigarettes. The negative side effects of hookah are they have similar effects as cigarettes. They still deliver the nicotine, so addiction is possible, and users are more susceptible to certain cancers like oral cancer, lung cancer, and stomach cancer. And just like with cigarettes, clogged arteries and heart disease are a side effect. Some of the dangers that come with smoking hookah is that because you use charcoal to heat the tobacco and get the smoke, you're more exposed or more likely to get carbon monoxide poisoning, and you're more likely to get the cancerous effects from the tobacco. Secondhand smoke is still really dangerous when it comes to hookah smoke. Here are some statistics about hookahs. 1 in 5 high school students say they have smoked a hookah pipe. Out of 5,500 high school seniors, 18% said they have used hookah in the past year. And of those that earned $10 or less at their job, 14% used hookah. And those who earned $51 or more, 23% use hookah. So like I said earlier, hookah is a really expensive habit, just because you're buying the hookah itself plus the tobacco and the flavoring and stuff like that. So here are the ingredients when it comes to hookah. You have the tobacco, the water, and the flavoring. Nicotine is still present in the tobacco and sometimes in the flavoring. The chemical dependency risks are the nicotine addiction, mild somatic dependency, and mild to strong physiological dependency, so kind of like a hand-to-mouth thing. But yeah, that's it. This is my reference page with the sites and things that I used.